Right up.
Right, this is our latest acquisition. It was delivered to us about 2 months ago. It's a Coles crane. They used to have them on each of the bomber stations during the Second World War and after the Second World War. I know she's looking in a pretty sorry state at the moment, but the cab is actually to the side of her there, and we're just in the process of restoring her gradually as best we can. So there's different panels to go back on, and the cab obviously. The trunk on the front of the vehicle is to be moved further back. It was just put there for transport purposes. So we're gradually doing probably a few panels at a time at the moment. Just trying to get the original colour back into the vehicle.
Well, you should be over the moon with that one anyway, because it comes from Sunderland, doesn't it?
Coles, yeah, well, Sunderland and Berkeley, I think. It's got a 1946 date on it, so she was just after the Second World War. So yeah, it'll look a lot better and a lot different within a few months. Our main job is to try and get these tyres sorted out. They're in a pretty shocking state, but we have got some of the fire engine spares which look to be able to transfer on. So we're doing all right. Looks a bit rough at the moment, but it will improve.
So what's the crack on this one again, Tony?
The Gannet, this came from White Waltham about 2 years ago, and it had virtually just been abandoned beside a hangar, and it was in a really sorry state when she first arrived. There wasn't an inch of paint on her, and we've had to restore her as best we can. Not just a paint job, but panels on the wings in various places have had to be restored and manufactured, to tell you the truth. So she's looking a lot better than what she did. It's one of the stars of the museum at the moment. A lot of people come and take pictures of this one. Looking a little bit sad with the bird muck, but we'll get that off shortly. We'll get a good power wash down. We've got about a fortnight to get the place ready for our first visitors. So that's our main job at the moment.
What's the history on this one then?
The Lightning was one of the original aircraft in the museum. It flew with the Saudi Air Force. I do believe that when the Saudis looked to improve their stock of aircraft, fighter aircraft, they took on the Hunters, the Hawker Hunters. That made the Lightnings redundant, and they shipped them all back to England. And various museums were lucky enough to pick them up. This one changed hands for the grand sum of £10. But again, it has been fully restored in the last 2 years. We've had some good workers on with this. And it is the original colours now of the Saudi Air Force, I believe. Next one is, well, the Meteor. We'll have a look right down.
Hey, have you ever done any of this?
What?
Chatting.
Well, in the previous life I was a counsellor, and occasionally got called upon to do some interviews and things. So, well, that's quite a while ago. Right, this is the Meteor. This is one of our original aircraft as well. They've all had an extensive paint job done on them. At the moment, this one is ready for a good power wash. We are trying to find a new canopy for it. Unfortunately, this one was damaged with high winds, and it's discoloured now, so we need to try and find a new canopy for it. Other than that, she's in pretty good condition. She needs a good washing and a little bit TLC around different areas, but she's not too bad. Another acquisition was the Carlisle Airport fire engine. At the moment the airport's going through a bit of a funny period. It's up for sale, I believe, at the moment. Well, I know it is up for sale. So they have been disposing of some equipment, and this was one of the pieces of equipment they said we could have. So this has only been with us about 4 months at the moment, and we're going to try and get her back into running condition. So watch this space.
Handy if there's ever a fire.
It's a big beast of a machine, it really is. I wouldn't like to pay the fuel bill on it.
Can he watching that cannon go like?
And this is a tandem. It's being restored to a high standard. We've had a good team of workers on. We'll have a guy comes up from the Midlands. He's very much the leading force on this one. We have a lot of good volunteers recently. We've got a good influx of people, so we've got all the knowledge and the people who are willing and happy to do the jobs. A lot of retired people like myself.
Keeps you out of bother.
It does indeed, yeah. It's recently been attended to as well. It's all been painted up. It was looking rather sad until one of our volunteers got stuck into her. Steve's an aircraft rigger, and he's got a hell of a lot of work. Did you manage to get any shots of the boat?
No, but I'll get some on the way out.
But you're more than welcome to take the photos around about it. The JP again just needs a power wash. In fact, I don't know if she's had it. She might have already received the power wash.
She looks very clean like.
Yeah. It's just a matter of care and maintenance at the moment. Most of the big projects have been done. But I say that we keep getting additions to it as well.
What would that plane have been used for?
This
Yeah.
is a trainer.
It's a trainer.
Yeah, a two-seater trainer. It used to be quite popular around Linton on Ouse and Church Fenton area. The RAF did a lot of pilot training. It was pre-Nimrod time, and in the rear of the aircraft there's room for about 3 or 4 trainees. They would go out and do observations and navigation training, I believe, as well. We actually recovered that from a scrapyard in Carlisle. It was just about to be broken up, so we're very lucky to get that. It's a bit rough around the edges with our age, but we do try and keep it on top of it, keep it well painted and preserved.
She looks like she's done a few parachute jumps for them doors.
Well, she could even have been used for that as well. Canberra, it's a big beast of an aircraft. I don't think there's any flying now. Well, there certainly isn't in this country. They did say there was some flying in one of the Indian countries, so might still be one or two knocking about. This has got pride of place at the moment, the Jaguar. I'm just going to shift this vehicle, let me get it. Hold on. 1 minute.
Lovely thing, like.
This is the main task that we have on at the moment. This is the predecessor of the Wessex. It's a Sikorsky S55 Westland. It's been in here for about 12 months, 18 months. Obviously it had to be stripped right down. It was very nearly in its last stages. But I think we've managed to save it. A lot of work going on. Lots of different panels are having to be fabricated. The big panel here is going to have to be fabricated. But it's all here in different places. It's all restorable now. I think we've caught it at the right time. She'll be going back outside once it's finished. I can't say it being finished within the next 6 months. So it's probably going to be a project for the next 12 months. All these parts around this side are from the crane. There's crates and crates and crates of crane. So it isn't easy.
Is this our engine?
No, that's a spare one for the Gannet. The engine for the helicopter is still in situ. We've had to take the cockpit off and everything so that we can get at it, and it's had quite an extensive paint job at the moment, both inside and outside. This will give you some indication of how much rock was having to be exposed. And we're going to have to manufacture a new panel to fit in here. There's the engine as she is. I mean, these aircraft are all static displays. They will never fly again. None of them. There's no engine starts either on them. Some of them have no engine at all. It is quite a big beast. We've got an extensive piece of work to do on it. But we've taken the cockpit off. It's been restored, repainted, with all the glass in situ. The blades there'll be to do before we can put them back on. Just a coat of paint. But we're getting there. A lot of the metal has had to be taken off. It's that thin. It's just rotten. No disrespect to the aircraft, but it's rotten. It is. So a lot of it's got to be manufactured here. Which is what we're doing here. This is all the new panel on the front as well. It's just a trickle charger so we can get it started when it's ready to run. But if you ever see it on Bangers and Cash, you would see what it was like in the original condition. In fact, there's some pictures on here, block. I can show you them actually. You can see what state it was in when it first arrived. But there's constant work to do. I mean, Trident has just been cleaned up. I know it's a nose section, but it's quite popular with the visitors as well. The jet stream beside it, well, been trying for months to do something with it. It's not the best project we've got at the moment. We're trying to take the old paint off and tidy it up a little bit. We've got somebody fabricating a new nose for it as well. It's been suggested it could be a cafe or all. That is part of the chipmunk that I was telling you about. That cockpit section actually flew over the Berlin Wall. So we're trying to get that on the original chipmunk that we have inside the block, because that has some history about it. Yeah. We need to preserve it.
Can you not get that cannon on the front of the Corona?
You want
bit of history you need to preserve it.
Yeah, that's us. We have a bit of history and all. We actually have the chipmunk inside. I'll show you.
You've got no chance of getting in there.
I would, but I wouldn't get back out.
So how many days a week will they be able to come over and help them?
Yeah, I tell you what, I wish I knew we talked so much. I would have brought the microphones with us and the proper camera.
He talks when he's happy, see?
Yeah, well, I'll do that next time.
Oh, we'll come back.
Oh, I certainly will. I wasn't expecting it being this big, to be honest, because I've driven past that many times.
A lot of people get a shock.
Yeah.
There's people in Carlisle don't know we're here. Yeah. We can't afford to advertise.
That's what that's for. Yeah.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hiya.
This is the chipmunk that I was on about. It's actually 2 or 3 chipmunks in one. So from the front of the cockpit to the back of the cockpit is the part that you've just seen outside. That was the original part that flew over Germany. So it's not unusual to get 2 or 3 aircraft joined up like that for a display purpose. But we're now going to take that cockpit out of this aircraft, take it away and put the other what's outside in place, so that can now be advertised as being the aircraft that used to fly over the Berlin Wall.
Right up.
Okay, John? It's in very good condition, the chipmunk. It's painted with Royal Navy colours. Around here we have the Oster.
From the main engine there's a prop and it connects to this.
And this is literally fly-by-wire. There's no hydraulic or electrical controls at all on that up here.
It's all wires.
They're all wires.
All wires.
And in fact, the very first ones didn't even have a battery. They had a little magneto that made the electricity as you went. Yeah.
Similar to a dynamo.
Yeah. Same as a dynamo. And then they updated it and they put a battery in that back bit there, and that's where the battery is. And they give them a radio. They were used during the Second World War to transport VIP from A to B. The engine had to be hand swung. You had to start it by hand.
Oh.
The engine.
This was one of our latest acquisitions as well. It's a jet engine from Tornado. Because the Tornadoes had now been taken out of service, we had a surplus to requirements. So we've been looking to acquire one. I think it's on loan from the RAF. And here we have the but we do try to keep it up to a high standard, I've got to say that. It hasn't always been easy because these are hard buildings to try and maintain.
What's the history on this balloon?
Flying Flea. Used to be 1930s sporty type of plane. They weren't very safe. There was a lot of crashes. Used to encourage people who could, if you could drive a car, you could fly one of these. But obviously, that didn't work out that way. And there's a lot of people killed actually in crashes with these. And you get a lot of these donated to air museums. So, whilst it's nice to have this here and it's nice to have the history of it, they were considered to be quite lethal at one time. I don't think you would ever see one of these flying again, put it that way. But very early microlight if you like. Look at the size of the engine on that. That's tiny.
What's this one off, Tony?
It was similar to the ones that they used for, was it a James Bond film? And it's virtually like a microlight. Some of them had a jet engine and some of them had a prop engine. You see a very few of them. Well, that's it. Lead micro aircraft. Lead. That's a propeller driven one, that picture. This one is a jet engine one. It was in one of the James Bond films, I can't remember which one it was now. They were quite popular, but I do believe that there was a high accident rate on them as well. One that used to fly over the Berlin Wall. So taking this, cutting the cockpit out of the original, our original Chipmunk, and we're going to push this one in and then do her up again. And then she can be advertised as being the original aircraft that flew over the Berlin Wall on spying missions.